Tripp Kramer here from trippadvice.com. Now in today's video, I want to be talking to you about what scares a woman away. What makes her say like, I kinda had enough of this guy and not really interested in him anymore. And we're talking here about the time when you guys maybe have been on a few dates. So I'm not necessarily speaking about what I usually speak about, which is that initial interaction when you first meet. But this is about, you guys have met already, she's got some interest, you have some interest, and you're doing a few things that's making her think twice about you. Now, number one and number two are very similar, but they're different in a way, so I kind of separated them. So the first one is over-contacting, okay? Over-contacting. What does this mean? This comes in the form of sending her too many text messages, having a lot of text message convos throughout the day, which depending on what the situation could be okay, but it's not if she's not responding to you, right? So you're just pinging her a lot, or maybe you're calling her. A lot of people don't do that these days anymore, but I gotta add it in there, right? Just this idea of contacting her too much. And this scares her away because this shows a form of neediness. This kind of says to the girl, hey, I'm not a really busy guy. I got nothing going on in my life that's that interesting. So I need to be contacting you all the time. So what you're doing is you're kind of like leeching energy from this person, almost in a way asking them to entertain you. Of course, you're not doing that overtly, but that's kind of what you're subliminally saying to this person. And when a girl, sees that you're contacting her so much, it's like he has nothing going on in his life. So what's it going to be like when me and him are finally together? Is he going to be just clingy to me all the time and not have his own independent life? All this stuff is happening on a very primal level when you're contacting her too much. How often should you contact her? Well, this is a good question. It's hard to give you a very finite answer because it always depends on what's going on in the situation with you and the girl that you're with. But I would say that if you're contacting her in any way, a call, a text, a DM, a Facebook message, whatever, and she's not responding to you, or she's like very unresponsive, maybe like one word or something like that, I wouldn't continue to make that a pattern. In fact, contacting her in the very beginning of a relationship or the beginning of the dating process should mostly be about you making plans with her. It's about the logistical sense, so keep that in mind. Let's move on to number two. Now, number two is kind of connected to this one, and it's the idea of showing too much interest too fast. Now, of course, if you're over contacting somebody, then that is a form of showing too much interest. And I know this sounds extremely counterintuitive and difficult at times because you're like, well, how do I see her? How do I end up hanging out with her if I'm trying not to show interest? Like, what's going on here? Well, one way not to show too much interest is that idea I said earlier about over contacting, but also I don't want you to be saying how much you like her. Please, for the love of God, do not tell her you love her unless you guys have been together for months and months and months, okay? I don't care what you're feeling. Even if you are feeling love, do not say it. It's too fast. It can creep a girl out. It can scare her away. So that verbal interest is something you want to kind of tame back a little bit too. Once in a while is fine. Throwing a compliment every once in a while is fine. But if you overdo it, you're going to, again, appear very needy, and it's going to kind of desensitize her. It's nice to hear a nice compliment or form of interest once in a while, but when you do it too much, it doesn't become as special, and it doesn't work its magic like it should. Number three is an interesting one. I was thinking about this. And it's this idea of being too vulnerable too fast, okay? Now, it happens. You meet a girl, you guys connect so fast, and you tell her all of your, deepest, darkest secrets, or you tell her, all the childhood wounds that you once had, or you kind of spill all of your emotions out because you guys had a couple glasses of wine and it gets really intense. I get it. That happens. But you want to be careful here, okay? When you're getting to know someone, I don't think it's a good idea to be spilling too much of that emotional stuff too fast. That's something that's better when you're just getting to know someone over a longer period of time. Take your time to let her get to know you. Don't just spill everything right away, And I'm not saying be a robot, don't show any emotion. No, we're not gonna do that here, okay? But what I'm saying is, let's balance this out. It's okay to show an emotion, it's okay to feel something, but let's just be honest. If you're on the second date and you're crying in front of her, this is just a turnoff. And not because crying is wimpy or because it's beta or whatever it is. It's just whoa, we're just getting to know each other and this is just a lot right now. It just is a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit awkward. So again, I'm not saying don't show emotion, but I'm saying let's just let it kind of drip slowly with the person as you get to know them. And I'm guessing you probably want the same thing. Can you imagine you're sitting with a girl on a second date and she starts crying because of something that happened in her childhood? It's we feel bad for you, but it's I'm just trying to get to know you right now. Let's take it a little bit slower. I want you to learn more about this idea. I want to go deeper with this. I'm going to put a video down below called "This Video Turns Women Off Instantly" to give you some more information on what's turning women off. Go in the description. It's another YouTube video. Click it, watch it, write a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.
If you're having trouble meeting hot women in your town and getting them interested in you, then listen up. I have an undetectable way of getting girls instantly attracted to you, even if you're ugly, broke, and live at home with your parents. This system has worked for thousands of guys, and it can work for you too. I teach it in my program called Hooked, where you'll also learn 2 behaviors most men do that instantly destroys any attraction. My 3-step friend zone escape plan to reset her feelings for you and get her liking you. 30 different pre-written texts to send a girl that make her want to meet up with you. And how to have unshakable confidence so you can approach any beautiful woman in any place. If you want to learn this and how to get women hooked on you, then go to getherhooked.com. Again, that's getherhooked.com.